Back to the session sense organ. Today we are going to discuss about nose and tongue, other two sense organs. First let us discuss about nose. Nose is the main important function of nose is to smell. Not only smell, nose help us to breathe the air, and the sensations are the receptor cells present in the nose. We call them as olfactory receptors, and the sensation we call it as olfactory sensation. Let us discuss what are the different parts present in the nose and how we detect the sensation of smell. See, the external nose consists of two openings called nostrils. The nostrils will open into a cavity called nasal cavity. The two nostrils are separated by a septum, nasal septum or a bony septum. And we have two different nostrils. Two nostrils open into nasal cavity, and these nasal cavity are separated by a septum. And on the floor of this nasal cavity is covered with a mucous membrane, and mucous membrane contain small hair-like structures. And apart from these small hair-like structures, mucous membrane on the floor of the mucous membrane or on the floor of nasal cavity, olfactory receptors are present. Olfactory means, olfaction means smell. Receptors are the specialized, every sense organ is made up of a specialized tiny cells or specialized tissues called receptors, which can receive the external stimulus, and these olfactory receptors are concerned with the smell. Now, and the nose is covered with mucous membrane. Let us discuss how we can smell. Smell is also called as odor. The chemicals present in the air, or the chemicals present in the odor or smell, dissolves in the air, and these are airborne chemicals. When they enter into the nose through nostrils, and when they enter into the nasal cavity, and nasal cavity consists of olfactory receptors, and these olfactory receptors receive the chemical stimulus, and which trigger the signals in the form of nerve signals or nerve impulse, and send the message to the brain. Brain will analyze the information, and brain have very specialized centers for the smell, olfactory lobes, and these olfactory lobes analyze the smell. Then only we can smell the food material. During cold and cough, we are unable to smell the food material. What is the reason why we are not able to smell the food material? Well, because the mucous membrane during cold and cough, due to this infection, viral infection and all, the mucous membrane will become formed more in the nasal cavity. And this mucous membrane entirely blocked all the receptor cells, and because of more accumulation of viral infection, more accumulation of mucous membrane takes place, and this mucous membrane will block the nose and make these receptor cells very inactive. So that's why during cold and cough you are unable to smell any food material or anything. You don't find the interest to eat food also, because you don't smell it. So, and due to that only, and not only that, the small hair-like structure present in the nasal cavity trap the dust particles and germs and any unwanted bodies to not enter into our body through nose. So many germs may also enter into our body through nose, and these are trapped by small hair-like structures, cilia, present in the nasal cavity. So in this way, once again I'll tell you how you detect the smell. The chemicals present in the food material dissolves in the air, and when this air enters into the nostrils and they enter into nasal cavity contain receptor cells, that olfactory receptors. These olfactory receptors trigger the signals of the chemicals and change them into nerve impulse, and these nerve signals are sent in the brain, and brain have centers for olfactory lobes for smell, and they analyze. Then only we smell the food material. How to take care of your nose? We should clean your nose while taking bath, and we should clean our nose when we are infected with cold and cough. And if you get any infection due to the viral infection, you can consult the ENT doctor. Now let us discuss another important sense organ, tongue. You know, tongue is a very important. Tongue is an organ which is highly muscular, voluntary muscular organ, and the tongue help to taste the food material, and the taste and smell are closely related. Now when we observe the tongue, we find some projections on the tongue, and the membrane, when you touch your tongue also, the tongue is also covered with mucous membrane, and on the mucous membrane some bump-like projections are present on the tongue. Those we call them as papillae. When you touch, you can feel the papillae on your tongue. And these papillae are of different type. They are foliate papillae, valate papillae, fusiform papillae. Another papillae called filiform papillae is there. In the filiform papillae, no taste buds are present. These foliate papillae are bump-like structures, and valate papillae are large round-like structures, and fusiform are also round-like structures. And these papillae contain taste buds. There are nearly 10,000 taste buds on the tongue, and we can taste different kind of tastes, and these papillae contain taste buds. And what are the major tastes you can detect with the help of tongue? Salt, sour, sweet, butter. And salt and sweet taste buds are present on the tip of the tongue, and sour are present at the sides of the tongue, and bitter taste buds are present at the back side of the tongue. And generally we can taste these 4 different tastes: salt, sweet, sour and bitter. Apart from this, according to our Telugu we have Shadruchuలు, that means 6 tastes. Another 2 tastes are Vagaru and spicy, but they are not really taste, they are the sensation of the tongue. And total 6 we can identify. And another new taste called umami taste. What is that new umami taste? This umami taste is a new taste which is seen in the Japanese flavors, and this umami taste is seen in a protein rich food like meat, fish and cheese. And another taste is called metallic taste, which is seen in the processed food like tin canned food. In all those canned food we come across a special taste called metallic taste. And taste and flavor. Taste and flavor is different to that of taste. Flavor is nothing but the combination of taste and smell. If the food, if it has a good flavor, definitely the food material will be tasty. I already said taste and smell are closely related. If your smell is not good, if the smell of the food is not good, you don't find any interest to pursue the food material. Even if when the smell is delicious, then only we feel like the food to eat. The smell will enhance the perception of food to eat. Both are closely related. That's why when you get fever or when you get cold and cough, when your nasal cavities are blocked, you cannot smell. When you cannot smell, you don't find any taste to eat the food material. Not only that, during fever condition, the taste buds, due to high temperature, the taste buds are paralyzed, so you are unable to taste the food material. During fever condition, you don't feel any food item tastefully. Not only that, the senses of taste is very high in infants. The small children, they like to eat very tasty food. They like to test all varieties of food material. As we grow, what will happen? The sensitivity gradually decrease. In the old age, the sensitivity will decrease gradually. That's why you have seen your grandparents complaining that the food has lost its taste. They used to complain that food has lost its taste. Why? Because the sensitivity of taste buds gradually increases as the age approach. Now let us see how we taste. What is the sensation of taste? The taste receptors, we call them as gustatory receptor. The smell receptors, we call them as olfactory receptors, and the taste receptors are called gustatory receptor. These receptors, the taste buds are present in the papillae, and these taste buds have small opening called taste pore. The food material get dissolves in saliva, and the taste buds are bathed with the chemicals present in the food as well as saliva. And every taste buds, the food material along with saliva will enter into the taste pore, and these taste buds have receptors. These receptors trigger the signals in the form of nerve impulse. Every receptor cell has a nerve fiber. All the nerve fibers join to form a nerve called gustatory nerve, and this taste will be triggered in the form of nerve impulse and sent into the brain. Brain will analyze the taste and it send back to the tongue. Then only we taste the food material. Now another sense organ is skin. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about skin, the sense organ. Thank you children. Watch the video carefully.